Hey everyone, it's Hannah V here, and I'm gonna deconstruct my single No Limit featuring Shystie and Pepper Rose and show you what I did production-wise. So the whole track started with a piano riff I had in my head. I recorded the pianos. And the next thing I wanted to do was add a kick and snare pattern. I wanted a very simple kick and snare pattern, so I thought of something like that's it. So programmed that in and added some hi-hats. Nice little swing, played around with the velocities a bit and with the piano. And there you kind of have like the basis of the track, really, you know? And now I started filling in all the details, making it bigger, defining the sections, all of that. For the drums in the chorus section, I wanted to add a lot more elements to it, right? So you have your kick, snare, hi-hat. I added a clap. And I added a little tambourine pattern. I also wanted a normal tambourine loop, so I added that as well. And a little cabasa. Then to tie the whole thing in properly, I added a ride. And then a couple of fills. And a little orchestra stab. Fill coming up. And those were basically my main drums. I added some crashes and stuff like that to define the section, but that was what was happening in my drums. So the next thing I wanted to do was obviously add a bass. I started with a program bass, but then decided it would sound really, really dope with a real bass player. So I got my boy Deshaun Abrahams, who's ridiculous, to cut some bass on the record. That was the basic bass part. Towards the end though, I wanted Deshaun to kind of like really freak it. So I wanted to like add a bit more to the instrumentation. So we already had our piano. To that I added some clav. Like a kind of funky one-note clav thing. A bit of B3. A bit of strings. A nice little analog pad. And then I added a plucked synth that kind of mimicked what Pepper was doing in the chorus. And then together with all the instruments. And together with the bass and drums. I also added a couple of samples. So now we're starting to get into like the details of it. There was one kind of vocal sample that's riding throughout the whole thing. Then I had another sample, another vocal sample. There was also one bit where Shystie, when she was recording, she laughed. And I thought it was like really cute, so I wanted to kind of add that as a sample as well. So I added that. And then there's a main kind of screwed up sample, which is this. So I took Pepper's vocals, I pitch shifted it, I messed around with it. I think I used Ultra Boy on it. I added delays, I EQ'd it to get that kind of effect. So let's have a listen to the whole backing track. So let's move on to the vocals. So I cut Shystie first, and I did it in quite a traditional way. So I've got Shystie's lead, I've got an ad-lib track, and I've got a couple of stab tracks where she's tracking the lead vocal.
Woo! I wake up and do this for my mama, and to push a drop in the summer. They said I couldn't do it, but I done it. So middle finger to the daughters, man, I love it.
With the stabs now?
I wake up and do this for my mama, and to push a drop in the summer.
And
they
some
said I couldn't
ad-libs?
do it, but I done it. So middle finger to the daughters, man, I love it. Dealing with depression, letting days slip away, spending all my time in bed.
And Shystie's delivery is like so punchy. I especially loved how she kind of took it from the pre-choruses into the choruses.
Then I made my first 100 grand, like I told you I could do this if you doubted me, you're mad.
So the next thing I needed to do was cut Pepper's vocals. And again, we went quite traditional with this. So you've got her lead vocal.
There's no limit, no. To my mind, my love, my heart, my soul.
I triple tracked this.
There's no limit, no.
And I added a low octave.
To my mind, my love, my heart, my soul. I've been breaking down glass ceilings, smashing them in, and I'm not done.
So for the second half of the chorus, we added loads of harmonies.
I've been breaking down glass ceilings, smashing them in, and I'm not done. No, not even.
Let's listen to that all in context.
I've been breaking down glass ceilings, smashing them in, and I'm not done. No, not even. Sky's the limit. I'm shining with the moon and the sun.
As I got towards the end of the production of this track, I wanted to add like a couple more musical embellishments, just like little kind of nods to the lyrics in the track. So there is one point in the second verse where Shystie says,
Your mind's a battlefield and it's got you under attack, but...
And that lyric was like really poignant to me, so I wanted to underline it musically somehow. So what I did was add a little gunshot effect.
Your mind's a battlefield and it's got you under attack, but I've always had the feet.
Again, these are just like little details, you know, that add to the track. There's also another really great moment in verse 3 that I wanted to musically accentuate. Shystie says,
To your friends missing and it's been a couple days. Now you're doing up your prayers and whatever else it takes. But
so the whole part of now you're doing up your prayers and whatever else it takes, I thought that was like, it's almost like the climax of the whole song, you know? So I wanted to do something musically to reflect that as well. So I firstly added a choir.
To your friends missing and it's been a couple days. Now you're doing up your prayers and whatever else it takes. But whoever.
And I also decided to do a little organ fill, just go a little bit ham on organ.
To your friends missing and it's been a couple days. Now you're doing up your prayers and whatever else it takes. But whoever you believe.
And I then dropped out the entire beat for this section, so you really get this musical moment. And this is how it all fits together.
To your friends missing and it's been a couple days. Now you're doing up your prayers and whatever else it takes. But whether you believe or not, just live righteous. Enjoy it while you can. Nobody makes it out alive. It's crazy in this world that we're living in. I'm fearing for my unborn kids and that's what's killing me. But I always had the vision that I can. Knew that I could do it if I stick to the plan. Then I made my first 100 grand. Like I told you I could do this if you doubted me, you're mad. There's no limit, no. To my mind, my love, my heart, my soul. I've been breaking down glass ceilings, smashing them in, and I'm not done. No, not even. Sky's the limit. I'm shining with the moon and the sun. No, I've been breaking them down.
Hope you enjoyed the breakdown of my track and hope you picked up a couple of tips and tricks there. You can find the single No Limit featuring Shystie and Pepper Rose on all streaming services, and find me on Instagram, Hannah V Official, Facebook, Hannah V Official, and Twitter, Hannah V. Thanks for watching all.